Hi people! So in this video I want to show you how you could do a full, let's say, standard Maraudon clear with about 170 mobs without using any nature protection potions and without doing, let's say, the run back, as usually once you've made your way back to the entrance, you turn around and run back to where Lord Vyletounge is. However, with this method, you don't have to do that run back at all. The one thing you will need, you know, on top of the standard nature resistance gear and all of that, is the Swiftness of Sansa potion. You won't be able to do this if you don't have that potion. However, as a Frost Mage, and by now, you're probably at least revered with Sandalar tribe, and if you aren't, you could just do a couple of Sulgurub runs and you're gonna get reputation very quickly. Now this Hydra here, it's very important that you don't pull this with you, and if you pull it now, you need to kill it, as the Hydra can reach you when you're standing on top of the pillar, and that's gonna screw up your run by a lot. Now when it comes to which spells I'm using to pulling what pack, that is not by chance, it's based on, let's say, experience and what I've found to work. So this first pack, you want to use a Frost Nova on or something. The really important thing for these snakes is that you save your blink, your counterspell, because you can use counterspell here, and that you have Frost Nova, Fire Blast and blink ready for just in a second here. So for this pack up here, you're gonna Frost Nova it, then you're gonna use a Fire Blast on this pack, and then you're gonna do the blink. And if you don't do the blink there, you're gonna run into so many snakes, and they won't probably kill you, but you're gonna eat a lot of your health and a lot of your mana of using Mana Shield. As for now, it's just running a bit. I have a total of 108 nature resistance when I'm with Mage Armor, or when I'm using Mage Armor, which I think is pretty good actually. I'm using 2 rings with, I think, 14 nature resistance. They were about 30 gold on my server. I'm using double nature resistance trinket from Noxion, and I'm also using the glowing Brightwood staff and the Necropile set pieces. And all of that together with Mage Armor gives me 108 nature resistance when I'm destroying the mobs or fighting them. Now, I'm sure you know most of the things I'm telling you already, however, hopefully you're gonna learn some new things as well. Some of the old things you probably already know is that you don't want to pull the boss, as I will screw up your run completely. You don't want to pull any Sisters of Celebrarians. Those are the, I think they're called Dryads. These mobs, however, you want to pull, and ideally you don't use Counterspell but Fire Blast here, because I used Counterspell here, I'm gonna lose one mob that I would have been able to get otherwise. We're gonna use a Body Pull on this guy, and a Body Pull on the next guy as well. Cone of Cold on these slimy boys. And if I would have had my Counterspell off cooldown, I could have pulled that guy as well. However, now I will be forced to just leave him there. Once you got on here, you should blink ahead and use your rank 1 Blizzard up there. That will allow you to get a few more elites. And once the mobs are somewhat collected, you do a Frost Nova, followed by Cold Snap into new Ice Barrier, and then another Frost Nova to just avoid getting eaten alive by those greeny boys. Now, as for the green bulbs, or whatever we're gonna call these, the globs, they're very slow, they hit hard, and I think they reset if you kite them long enough, so there's really no point in trying to grab them. It's never done in the standard run. You want to have your blink ready here. I took a few hits, but nothing dangerous. It's a pretty normal run so far. We're actually gonna speed ahead just a little bit. Pulling these mobs, it would be a good idea to use your Arcane Explosion, however I used Frost Nova. Then we're gonna body pull most of these treants, and this is where my run starts to differ, well, besides maybe using the Blizzard on the upper ledge. As what you'd normally do is jump down. Normally you just run straight up there and jump down, and then kite them, and there's a lot of packs you wouldn't be getting, like, let's see if I get a good angle. I'll just go through that when we see them. Like this pack you would take on your way back, these 2 setters down here, that guy over there maybe, and that's the second elite I'm missing, by the way. Anyway, when I jump down here, you're gonna do a blizzard to slow them and gather the pack up so it's not that spread out. Then you're gonna do a blizzard to pull that pack. Sadly, I had a bad angle, so I couldn't do it first, meaning I had to use a Frost Nova, and that's gonna be a very tiny issue in the future. So we got all the mobs from this room now, and normally this is where you run back to after you've been to the entrance, but that is something we're completely gonna skip. This pack you normally pull with, or I like to pull with a Frost Nova, but I had to use a Cone of Cold instead. And here you wanna have your blink ready to run away from the big pack again, like that. Getting past this pack, you can use blink, Frost Nova, or double shields. We pulled the treant down there. And I think there's another 1, 2, 3 treants I'm not getting, taking us to 5 elites. 5 more elites I could have gotten in total. You might be tempted to use Counterspell and Blink here, but you want to save both of those spells for a situation that comes very soon. Use another Fire Blast there, of course. You can use a Cone of Cold to slow down the pack now. Something like that. And now you're gonna run into the right here. Counterspell them and then blink out. There we go. Gonna keep making our way here, and now you just gotta let your blink go off cooldown, pull down with Fire Blast. We're gonna body pull the next pack, and it's important that you use blink when passing above that bridge or cave, as the mobs can hit you through the roof, and if you're unlucky, you're gonna get right above a big chunk of the pack, and that's just gonna insta-kill you. I just switched to Mage Armor, and you can see 108 nature resistance there. Another important thing which you may not do is that you wanna go up here, not just to pull them, but more importantly, this will allow you to fold the entire pack in half. Let's see if I turn around here very soon. There we go. So, as you can see, you have mobs coming from up there, joining the mobs that are there. So, if you got the train, and let's say that the front of the train is there and the back of the train is there, the front guys are gonna be forced to move back and join up with the guys in the later half, which will fold them double basically. And here you wanna slow them down with your blizzard, just like usual. Sadly, he got in front of the blizzard, but it doesn't really matter. And I pretty much got everything into a blizzard slow. Now, normally you would have ran back all the way to vyletounge, but that is not what we're gonna be doing now. Instead, you wanna get a ice barrier up as soon as possible. You jump up to the outer ledge of this, totem, and you're gonna do 2 blizzards over there at the bridge. And that is in order to kill off almost all the poison sprites. And killing those off is what allows us to not use a nature protection potion, as normally you take so much damage despite all your resists that you just need to have it. Now sadly, some of the mobs escaped the blizzard slow, so I had to jump back up, and we finish off almost all of them with some AoE, and this is a very good amount of poison sprites to have left. If you get really lucky, let's see, over here, and they're very well collected, the chain is, then you can do 2 blizzards here, killing off almost all sprites, and then just continue with doing the normal, killing off the rest of the chain. However, there weren't sufficiently gathered, so I had to jump up again. Normally you have to jump up again, but sometimes you're lucky and things just work out smoothly. So anyway, same thing again, you fold them, you run back here, and you gather them up again with a rank 1 blizzard or max rank if you want to do damage here. And as you can see, they're very nicely collected now. I think I got basically the entire pack blizzard slowed. So now we can just kill them off, and as you can see, we're 7.5 minutes into this pull. So it's gonna be a fairly quick pull. I think we have maybe 5 sprites left or something. That's a very good amount. We don't need to use any nature protection potions for this. And we just kill them off like usually. Now the reason why you can't have a Hydra in your pack is that once they're running back to want to get down to you, the Hydras are just gonna stay here and hit you from above. So that's gonna mess up everything. If you're doing one of those 300 mobs pull, the dinosaurs, let's say stomp, is also gonna reach you when you're standing out here, which makes this method unviable for 300 mobs pulling, but unless you're really good at this, it's not gonna be worth going for 300 mobs in my opinion, but that's a whole nother story. Anyway, as you can see, it's going very smooth finishing these guys off. Of course, this is the sweet spot where they kinda go back and forth. And despite my frost barrier being broken by now, I almost take no damage from these poison sprites due to the high resistance I have. And we've almost killed these mobs off. Just finishing the last ones. You could have your buyers start looting now, as long as they're careful and don't die to those poison clouds, as that would suck a bit. As you can see, we are at 167 kills and finishing off these poison sprites, which you don't want to do until you have full mana, by the way. 171. Took us 9 minutes, so now you have 3 minutes to get your looting done, or maybe 2 minutes before you start your next run. And as you saw, we didn't need to use any nature protection potions, and we didn't need to run back to Lord Vyletounge and then back to the entrance. We could just stay here. Overall, I think it's a very smooth way of doing it, and I really like Maraudon overall, because there's basically no RNG that can get you killed inside of it. Now, if you have any questions about this or just want to say hi, you can stop over at my stream at twitch.tv/NeceriumClouds. I stream maybe every other day, 3-4 days a week, and it's the best place to reach me if you have any questions or so. Anyways, that was all I had for this video. I hope you found it helpful. Please like it if you did and consider subscribing for, well, more content in Classic WoW. Anyways, that was all for now. I'll be back soon with another video, and until then, see ya!